We all love looking at guns, and you've been waiting for me to show you a Rock Island Armory. Well, this one's pretty tricked out. We're going to talk about it. I mean, the Hydrographics make it stand out. You know, plain old black gun is a plain old black gun. This is pretty trick looking. We're going to talk about all the work that went into this. CSC Arms, Bernie is here with me. He did a lot of work to this gun. Besides the obvious, what you're looking at, the Hydrographics, it's got a cut and recessed barrel. We have another one here that's disassembled. We're going to show you a deep dish crown barrel. He polished the throat of the barrel, very impressive. He polished the feed ramp. It's got a 3.5 pound trigger on a Rock Island Armory. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, that's up there with the super high-end guns. He's got 8 to 10 hours worth of work into this gun, and it's really special. He's got about 10 of them like this at a shop. If anyone wants one, I'll put his website below. The goal of this video is to talk about Rock Island Armory and to give you some education on what you can do to any 1911, and let's just start with a Rock Island. I figured. I told Bernie, I said, let me see a super high-end Rock Island. So welcome to weaponseducation.com. This has got to be one of the coolest Rock Island 1911s I've ever seen, maybe you've ever seen. And it's really customized to the max. My friend Bernie, CSC Arms, he does this. He's been doing this for over a decade. He's a good friend of mine, supports the channel. I support his firearms store. He's a FFL, and he does a great job, hands-on, with his 1911s. Not only did he modify a bunch of these Rock Islands, and wait to see what he did to this thing, and he's going to tell you how he did it, but he also makes 1911s from scratch to compete with the big boys at a much lower price. But right now, this video is just to introduce CSC Arms and to show you what Bernie did to this 1911. Like I said, we have one here that's disassembled. Here's a cool Kel-Tec that he zombieized and he customized. It's really, really sweet. So let's take a close look at the modifications and the customization of this Rock Island Armory. I think probably the best one in the country. Let's start out by learning about the process of hydrographics. Bernie is here and he's going to explain to you how he turned this Parkerized 1911 officer-size Rock Island Armory into this zombie-type look gun. It's really sweet. Let me zoom in and first show you the quality of it. I mean, it's clear, and it really feels good in your hands. It's very durable. It's not going to scratch easy. So now, Bernie, you're sitting right here. Please explain to everybody what goes into the process of this hydrographics.
Okay, first off, hydrographics is also, the other name of it is also called water transfer. And the process of water transfer is the parts that you're going to be dipping have to be prepped. You have to prime them, paint them. You have to wait 24 hours for the material to dry. Then the water transfer process is done, just like it says, it's done on water, and you have to do, there's a film, and the parts have to be, the film has to have sprayed with an activator, and that liquefies the film to make it adhere on the parts. Then you dip the parts that you're going to be wait 24 hours after the parts are dipped, and then the other step further that I do is I clear coat the parts, and I actually clear them 4 times.
Okay, all right, that's really interesting because I never realized how much work went into modifying this type of gun with the hydrographics. It's a lot of time, right?
It actually takes almost, doing the whole process of water transfer, almost for me about a week.
Huh, very interesting. Let's go on to look at some other things you've done to this gun. All right, let's talk about the cut and recessed barrel, the deep dish crown barrel, the polishing of the throat of the barrel, polishing of the feed ramp. Bernie, why don't you start off with explaining to us exactly what you did as far as, you know, the things I just mentioned, the recessed barrel, deep dish crown barrel. Go ahead, I'll leave it up to you.
Okay, first off, I pretty much, my expertise is actually doing the barrel. Most 1911s, you see the barrel protrude further from the slide. And one of the custom things that you get with high-end companies that do custom 1911s actually cut and recess the barrel so that it's actually flush to the slide, as you can see here.
Why don't you pick up that barrel there and show us the crowning of it.
Now, the other feature also, when you cut and recess the barrel, you could actually crown the barrel. And this is actually a deep dish crown, and it's at a 45-degree angle on the crowning.
That's sweet. Okay, there we go with the feed ramp. Boy, you really did a good job on that feed ramp. Talk about that.
That helps the process of reliability of 1911s when you go ahead and do the extra polishing on the feed ramp and actually polishing the throat for the reliability of the ammo following into the barrel.
But I know the trigger took you a lot of time to get a 3.5-pound trigger. Please talk about the trigger. I'm going to look at the other one that's on the stand there. And please talk just out loud what you did to modify a production trigger, because it takes a lot more work to work on a production gun than one of your custom 1911s. Go ahead and talk about that. This has MEM parts, things like that.
Okay. Doing the trigger work, it actually took 3.5 hours. There's a difference between a production gun and a custom gun as for the parts. Production guns use MEM parts. For some of you who don't know that it's metal injected molded parts. So the process is the parts are a little bit harder to work with. So I had more time stoning and filing the sear and the disconnect to actually get it to a custom 3.5-pound trigger.
And total hours into this gun, you've got what, a week into it?
The whole gun, customizing besides the hydrographics was a full day's worth of work. Besides, doing the hydrographics.
And why did you choose to modify a Rock Island? Why didn't you choose our higher end? I don't want to put you on the spot, but let's, everyone's going to ask that question.
Well, basically, we had a conversation over the phone, and I'm about a few weeks out. I'm waiting on my frames and slides. Some of you that don't know that I'm a manufacturer, so we're going to produce our own 1911. And there's been people asking my expertise and my abilities and what I do on a 1911. And I took a Rock Island and customized it, and this is getting almost like a full line customized 1911. So this is not an ordinary factory gun.
Right, and you've got a bunch of these in stock. If they want to go to your store, I'm asking everyone to go, at least go to your website, check out CSC Arms. There's his logo there. And also the link is below the video. We'll be doing more videos with Bernie as he gets his 1911s in production. And I want to show you actually from scratch on how he makes those 1911s, the whole process of a custom 1911 from A to Z, in which as soon as you get those parts coming in, we're going to start making some videos. Anything else to close out?
The one thing we forgot, this gun has also Trijicon night sights.
That's right. And
night sights, for most of the people that don't know out there, actually helps for visibility on low light areas. So that's an expensive feature on the gun.
Yeah,
also.
that is. Trijicon's among the best. I realize that. Well, thank you, Bernie. Excellent job on that Rock Island. Please check out his website. And he also does a lot of custom work on ARs. All right, checking out for now. Thanks for tuning in.